Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. New Hampshire's current shortage of housing of all types, houses, condos, apartments, has been in the making for almost 2 decades. And only now is there a significant effort to catch up. Let's walk through some of the facts, several from the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute, which has done the homework. In today's market, demand has increased for housing while construction remains well below pre-2006 levels in New Hampshire. In 2019, Applied Economic Research estimated the New Hampshire housing market had as many as 20,000 too few new housing units to satisfy the market demand. Now it's 23,000, says New Hampshire Housing. The cost to build a new home in New Hampshire is approximately $307,400, which is higher than the national average. And the median house price of a New Hampshire single-family house sold by March 2022 rose to $440,000, about 80% higher than it had been 5 years earlier, still above $400,000. And finally, low rental vacancy rates below 1% have contributed to the lack of supply and the increase in price, almost $1,500 for a 2-bedroom apartment and utility. With me to talk about this is Matt Mayberry, who's Executive Director of the New Hampshire Builders Association, home builders in particular. Welcome.
In particular. Fred, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Nice to have you here. What's constrained builders in the last decade, let's say, from building homes and apartments in New Hampshire?
Right out of the gate, planning and zoning regulations. We have communities in New Hampshire that require, say, a 5-acre minimum lot. So you're starting already at $200,000 to $300,000 before you put one piece of wood on there.
All right.
We're also running short on lumber, microchips, labor. Fred, the lack of labor, items 1, 2, and 3. We need folks to enter into the trades. These are great careers, and we're trying to encourage people to join us.
And you represent builders, contractors, remodelers, developers, and so forth. So you know what you talk at this point.
I do.
Much of the housing I'm aware of that's being built right now to try to meet the demand is market-based in terms of price. What about affordable workforce housing, where the real need exists and where the business community is saying we need affordable housing for workforce?
But Fred, before we get to affordable housing, we have to develop attainable housing.
What do you mean?
ATTAIN. That we have a whole lot of folks who have a household income of $100,000 a year. This is a teacher and a firefighter, right, a cop and a nurse. They can't move out. They can't save money fast enough to save for a down payment to buy that home. So they stay in that rental unit. So they create a glass ceiling that all others hit up against. If we create attainable housing, we can move those folks with a $100,000 income out of the rental market into the ownership market. And that will allow the rental capacity to rise.
Okay. There's a bill before the New Hampshire legislature, which you know about, I'm sure, Senate Bill 231, which is Governor Chris Sununu's housing proposal. $25 million to renew a 1988 Affordable Housing Fund, which has actually been going, but it hasn't been funded that much. A capital grant program for multifamily units. $30 million more for a $100 million Invest New Hampshire Housing Fund that the governor initiated with federal rescue plan money. Then the capital grant program, as I said, and a municipal grant program for affordable housing units, and an historic home tax credit to repurpose existing buildings. I assume your group is supporting this.
Absolutely. And we cheer and we applaud Governor Chris Sununu. He has been a gladiator for the housing industry. He's understood the problem, he's thought outside the box, and moved it forward. We'd be nowhere without Governor Sununu.
Is this going to pass?
Yes. Because we're so short of housing units that anyone is willing to throw the Jell-O against the wall to see if it works, see if it sticks. We're willing to work with them. We'll do whatever it takes. But
are there more contractors building homes in New Hampshire now than there were, like, say, 10 years ago? Or
no, sir. Quite the opposite.
Fewer.
Quite the opposite. We have folks who are looking to leave the industry and actually retire, but they can't. Lack of labor.
And we're out of time. Matt Mayberry, Executive Director of the New Hampshire Home Builders Association. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'll be back again.
Yeah, you will. And if you missed part of this briefing, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted all this week.